Huckabee, and I was diagnosed with pelvic congestion syndrome in June of 2022. I was treated in December of that same year, as well as July of 2023 at Johns Hopkins under the care of Dr. G. Boothie. I share more about my procedure at pelviccongestionrelief.com, which is an online resource I created to help centralize information for anyone seeking to understand more about this vascular disease. The end goal of my video today is to shed some light on my experience in what I'd call the vicious cycle, one that I couldn't get out of until after my treatments, having to do with the connection between the physical pain I was experiencing and then the impact on my mental health. And it's important to highlight this connection between the physical pain that we experience and how that impacts us mentally. Because when we're in it, like when I was really just like 10 out of 10 in such intense pain, I wasn't able to make the connection between how I was feeling and even what I was feeling, because you're just so consumed with how bad you feel. And so you end up in survival mode, right? It's just like get through the day, get to the end of the day, you can finally relax, you can lay down, you can watch your shows, you can have some wine, you can numb the pain. Every day, that was my reality for like years, honestly. And it was only then after having successful embolization that I could get some space back and clarity and go, oh, wow, there was a lot going on that I didn't even realize at the time that was going on with me mentally, all connected to the physical pain of pelvic congestion syndrome. So how it was affecting me mentally is that, again, I find that I was just in survival mode. And so there's so much studies out there about what does it mean to be in survival mode for a human, but it ain't good, right? We just have this high level of stress hormone that's pumping through our body every day. That's where I was. I was working, outside of the home as well. Like I was working for a company. And so you've got outside stressors, you've got inside stressors with the family, you've got small kids, typically patients with this vascular disease. You've had multiple pregnancies, you've got little kids, you're just in the thick of it. You've got a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, not to mention we just came out of a global pandemic. And so all of that's weighing down on you, but you just feel like you should be able to like figure it out and get up and get moving and be positive and just go pray about it. Like none of that was working, right? It's like I would go physically try to be active again and I was doubled over in pain. And then you would feel like a failure. And then you would be frustrated and then you would still be stressed. And so it would come out in, probably bursts of, anger and frustration. When I'm in survival mode, I am certainly not thinking about what's the healthiest thing that I could be eating. What's the best thing that I could be doing for myself? No, you're reaching for sugary food, easy to access food. You're having more than one glass of wine, right? Because you're just like engaged in that type of behavior that can relax you and bring you down. And so I think it's really important that for anyone that is currently like in the thick of it, like I know what you're experiencing. Like if you're finding these videos and you're just like, the pain is 10 out of 10 right now. It's so intense. I don't see myself out of this. This is impacting me mentally. And no one seems to understand, right? Like no one in my family seems to understand, or doctors aren't even understanding this. Like I understand you. And I think, again, it's really only after that physical pain can be removed that your mental health can really start to be healed then too. Because once we're out of survival mode, once we're out of that just get through the day mentality, we can be more thoughtful and intentional about I should go to bed at a good night and a good time. And it's okay because I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel good in the morning versus pre-embolization. I knew that all that was waiting for me on the other side of the day was another day of feeling horrible, right? You're not looking forward to that. You prolong that. You try to put yourself distance to that. So you extend your nights as long as you can. But when you're able to feel better, you go to bed earlier, you put better things in your body. You abstain from, too much, sugar and alcohol, and, adjusting my diet too, like after the embolization as well, adjusting your diet, that also helps you start to feel better. But it's not like one or the other one. Like, I couldn't have fixed my physical pain with just a better diet, right? This is a vascular disease. It's a disease of your veins. Like, you're just not going to pray it away. You're not going to physically work it out. You're not going to just move on to a diet of vegetables and plant-based and remove it. Like, this is a physical ailment. It's a disease. But together, all of these things work out well, right? You fix the physical pain. You start to work on your habits, right? In terms of reintroducing low impact exercise, having the mental clarity to then say, I'm going to reach for a banana instead of a cookie, reducing, your diet on things that are maybe not so great for you. All of it works together. And then mentally you're feeling better. Like, I have so much more energy now than I did a year and a half ago, pre-diagnosis and pre-treatment. It's insane when I look back on how bad I was feeling. And so just wanted to kind of highlight that, it's a physical disease. It's a vascular disease. It primarily is affecting women. It affects men as well, but it primarily affects women who have had multiple pregnancies, multiple kids. You're under a lot of stress. You're under a lot of demands. And that all kind of compounds, mentally to have you not feel so great too. And so you end up getting bad habits, things that aren't good for you, but you're in survival mode. And so I just want you to know, like, if you're feeling like that, I felt like that, you take it day by day, but really, there is such a connection between the physical and the mental, and this disease impacts you negatively mentally, right? Like, it really does. And you've got to get yourself out of that hole. You've got to remove yourself out of that cave. But one of the first steps is getting the right information and the right diagnosis and the right specialist with the right treatment, because until you finally eradicate the source of the pain, you're going to still feel the pain and you're going to still be on that mental health struggle. So wanted to highlight here that you're having a physical pain. It can honestly impact you mentally as well. But you're not alone, and there is a way out. And I hope more information on my resource, pelviccongestionrelief.com, is helpful to you.